The main thing that has been standing out to me throughout all of this, and, without getting too political, it's the issue of extremism that is being allowed to fester in our country. And we're not really hearing that in the press conferences from the Prime Minister, how exactly he plans to stamp out this extremism that is living in our country. And that's the concern from, your everyday Australians, a lot of conversations I'm having with people. That's the main concern for them. Yes, there were obviously clear failures, but moving forward, how do we stamp out this extremism? I mean, the Prime Minister is also, of course, as you know, resisting calls for a royal commission into the worst terror attack on Australian soil. But I'll just note, Michael, as well, a Melbourne rabbi's car has been targeted. What's your response to this?
Oh, it's disgraceful and it's disgusting. And thankfully, Police Commissioner in New South Wales, Mal Lanyon, has put a 2-week ban on protests, particularly these pro-Hamas protests, which have been allowed to continue, despite the abject eh, pushback by the Premier, Chris Minns, by the Police Commissioner. The Police Commissioner before Mal Lanyon also said no. And yet, and despite the fact that we've also got a very tired and weary police force, and it costs taxpayers a lot of money, these protests have been allowed to continue. And it's just not right. When the Premier and the police say no to a protest, the likes of Josh Lees and should not be listened to. They just should not, because what we've seen at those protests is hate symbols, ISIS and Al-Qaeda flags. What we've seen is hate speech should not be allowed to continue in Australia. And then the police have been having to go out time and again, over time, for officers to be called in. And I know this for a fact, and everybody in Sydney knows it. And yet it's not just in Sydney, it's in regional areas as well, that we've seen this hate speech being allowed to continue. The judiciary, Justice Belinda Rigg, allowed that August 3 Sydney Harbour Bridge protest to proceed despite the protestations of our community leaders and of the police. Now, this is not right, and this has to stop, and it has to stop now. There's no good that's going to come of these protests. We've already given, as a nation, unfortunately, statehood. We voted for that, the United Nations, to give Palestine statehood. And there is a connection. There absolutely is a connection between the hate speech and what happened at Bondi. And anybody who thinks that there isn't, either is just not reading the room, or quite frankly, are in the ALP or the ABC.
One thing that's concerning me is how people are being radicalised here in Australia, and that to me seems to be the core of the issue here. Quickly, we've got to wrap things up. We've run out of time, but does the coalition need to take a more hardline stance on issues like immigration, like One Nation, for example?
Well, yes, and we've been importing 1,221 people a day, and we imported 3,000 Gazans. Tony Burke rushed out to the airport to greet them and for a photo op. Now, have they all had the property security vetting? I don't think so. Yes, we do need to take a good long hard look at immigration. We had a migration policy review. We've delayed that appropriately and sensibly and compassionately because of the Bondi terrorism incident. But we will have more to say about that certainly early in the new year. I know that Susan Lee has been working that up with Andrew Wallace, with Julie and Lisa and others. And that's an important position for us to take, and we will indeed have more to say about that in 2026.
Michael McCormack, thank you as always for your contribution on Sky News throughout the year. It's been a pretty heavy and chaotic year, to say the least, but wishing you and your family all the very best and a happy and safe new year.
You too, and your viewers. Thank you.